Hi, this is Mr. Teal. Sorry I'm a little bit late with today's video. This is a video for September 23rd. For those people that are absent or miss or at home, whatever, or just need some extra help. So first thing that we're going to do is your self-start for today. So I'm going to go ahead and get that ready. There we go. Okay, so hopefully, if you haven't already done it, you've hit pause. If you haven't hit pause now, go ahead and go through these three problems and we'll check it. Okay, so first one says the average low temperature during the winter is -6 degrees. The average high temperature during the winter is 13 degrees. What is the temperature difference? The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to find a keyword to help me set up my problem. So when I look through this, I see this word right there. Difference. Hopefully in the last couple days you remember that the word difference means I'm going to be subtracting. So I'm going to go ahead and put that subtraction. Now to make things nice and neat with subtraction problems, I like to do the positive number first and then subtract the negative. If you do the opposite version, I'll show you that here in a moment, but for me this works out neatly. With the subtraction problem, I'm going to use my superpower. And consequence always follows. I have to do the opposite of the number next to it. So the opposite of a -6 is a +6. When I add those up, I get 19. If by chance you did it the other way and did the negative first, and then you're going to subtract the 13, superpower consequence, and that gives me an answer of a -19. However, because distance can't be negative, we have to take the absolute value of a -19, which would just give me an answer of 19 anyways. So doing it this first way saves me a couple of extra steps, but that's kind of up to you. Question 2, Bob McBobby owes his parents $15, but uses his allowance to pay back 10 of it. What is the end result after paying back some of the money? Well, again, I'm looking for keywords, and the first thing that stands out is that right there. If you owe somebody money, that's a bad thing. That's a negative. I also noticed that I'm paying back some of it. If I pay back somebody that I owe, that's a good thing. That's a positive. That means I don't owe as much to them. So that's going to be a positive 10. Now I could do, 15 negatives and then 10 positives and find my zero pairs and see what's left over. I could use a number line and go from there. If I wanted to, I could go to a -15 and then 10 positive. But in the end, no matter what I do, I still end up with a -5. Now what that means is that I still owe $5. Question 3. A bird, I'm going to draw a bird, there's my bird, is flying 10 feet above the water. Okay, so here's my water. Looking for dinner. A fish is directly below. See if I can draw fishes in this mouse. There we go, that's pretty good. And it is 3 feet underwater. What is the distance between them? So we know it's 10 feet above the water because that's where the bird is. That's going to be a positive. If the fish is 3 feet underneath the water, then that's going to be a -3. Now, distance between, we talked a little bit about that the other day. That's also just like finding difference. So that means I'm going to be subtracting. So I've got a 10, and I'm going to be subtracting a -3. There's my superpower, my consequence. I have to do the opposite of this number. The opposite of a -3 is a +3. That gives me an answer of 13. Here's yesterday's thought. You're welcome to pause it and read it if you so desire. If you are going to be back in school on Friday, please make sure to wear your red. I'm tired of Mrs. Fawcett and all of her class walking up and down the halls, just talking it up. So let's just beat them. Let's put them in their place, and we'll do the trash talking after we beat them. We had win time today. After school math club starts actually Thursday, which is today. Hopefully if you know how to get into Canvas and you're watching this video, then you're good, so we don't need to worry too much about that. The one thing is, starting next week, we will have a math teacher on Zoom to answer any questions for about a half hour, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but the times and the links will be located on the Canvas homepage. So in class today, we started going through multiplying and dividing integer problems, like real life problems. And then we did a little bit of a class activity. Now the class activity you missed, but all the slides that we did in class are located here on the PowerPoint as well, so you'll be fine. So the one thing I do want you to pay attention to is this right here. So we've got 3 new keywords that we need to kind of be able to pick out. Each, every, and per. So we've talked about difference meaning subtract. We've talked about and meaning addition. The word each and every, these two mean to multiply. The word per typically means that we're going to be dividing. So we got to watch for those 3 keywords. So this is the first problem that we did in class. A balloon descends. Descends means to go down. 10 feet every minute. What is the result after 16 minutes? There are 2 possible keywords in this to help us out. Descends and every. The word descends, that's a negative because it means go down 10 feet. The word every, we just found out, means we're going to be multiplying. And we're going to be multiplying it by a 16. I notice that I only have 1 negative in my problem, so I know my answer is going to be negative. And 10 times 16 gives me 160. So my answer is a negative 160. But what does that answer actually mean? Well, what this says is it went down or descended 160 feet. So if I put my answer in terms of words, that's what it means. It went down 160 feet. Next one. An oven's temperature dropped 120 degrees in 30 minutes. If the temperature dropped at a constant rate, what is the average temperature change per minute? So again, there are 2 key words to help me set up my problem. Dropped and per. Dropped would indicate a negative, because it went down. The word per, again, we just found out, means that we're going to be dividing. So in negative 120 divided by 30, a lot of times students want to say my answer is 40, which is not correct. Because it's actually going to be a 4. Hopefully you're okay with that. If not, check that work on a calculator just to make sure. But my answer would be a negative 4. What does my answer mean? Well, it dropped 4 degrees per minute. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I would recommend that you do from here is look for keywords. I would recommend that you write them down and then answer, what does your answer actually mean? So when you get an answer, think about it. So I'm going to have you just go ahead and go through these slides. There's a challenge question for those people that need a little bit of a challenge, and that'll be some good practice for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Later.